Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the 6-game NBA main slate on Tuesday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. I'm now making videos for NBA Top Shot as well. If you are unable to watch these YouTube videos, also up on Apple Podcasts, we'll link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, I offer that on patreon.com, an esports package, which includes Call of Duty and CSGO. We get CSGO slates basically every single day. We get Call of Duty slates usually 4 times a week. And then an NBA package if you're interested in that. And I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this show. If you are not familiar with Prize Picks, or this is your first time watching these videos, the idea is you take over/under on fantasy points. And they'll have second half contests posted. They can have fourth quarter contest. And then, just the regular contests as well. So, yeah, for example, like they have Jokic projected for 27.1 fantasy points in the second half. And sometimes, again, when they have the fourth quarter contest posted, you can take advantage if there's like a game that's blowing out and you think, the stars might not come in. Obviously, you can take unders on some of the stars there. And you can mix and match sports too. They have everything. Like they have MLB, they have esports, they have golf. Everything you can think of. And again, it's a nice change of pace. You're not playing against anyone. You're just playing against the house. So if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up. You just go DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word, link down below. You will get a 100% match up to $100. You put $100 in, you get $200 to play with. And before we hop in the video, I just want to thank you guys again for the continued support on everything. The videos, live streams, Twitter. It is greatly appreciated. If you do enjoy all this content, if you could leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, you know when I go live. I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow. It might be a little bit earlier. It might be from 5 to 5:30. I know Locks at 6:30 Central, but yeah, I think 5 to 5:30 for YouTube. So make sure to check that out. Again, I'll answer everyone's questions, and let's aim for 150 likes on this video, guys. It helps me out a ton when you do hit that like button. But all right, before we talk about players and the prices for this 6-game slate, we can look back my lineup here from Monday. So Monday, we will go over this. This is my best ball team. I got to tilt about it a little bit. I showed everyone on the live stream today. But all right, let's go over my lineup here. I played a little bit lighter today. Only played the $40 single entry tournament. But this is my final lineup here. So John Morant, Jalen Brunson, Joe Ingles, Mo Harkless, JV, Mitchell, Bazemore, and Levine. I can get out of the way so you guys can see. But yeah, looking to be a pretty low-scoring night in general. So I mentioned that I was going to go with the Chicago-Memphis stack, and I did. It's not a super high-scoring game right now. It's 74-70, but John Morant still has 23, JV still has 33 at low ownership, and Levine's got 31 after a slow start. So that's kind of the stack I used. I ran it back with a Utah stack, which I mentioned multiple times. I used Mitchell and Ingles from the Utah Jazz. I used Brunson as last piece in once we got news that he was starting at a really slow start, but actually picked up in the second half. Mo Harkless, not gonna lie, got a little bit luckier. It was either him or it was Najee Marshall. Once we got news that Najee Marshall was not starting, I was like, it's basically 50-50. I had a lot of people ask me that, and it truly was. I want Harkless just because I was like, okay, I think he might play a few extra minutes here. And then, I used Bazemore for value. He was the chalk. Right now, only 1 assist, but hopefully he can pick that up. Again, he's not super expensive, so I don't need a ton from him. If you just give me like 20-ish, I'll be happy. But yeah, that is it for the look back. All right, now I got to show you guys this. So, mentioned the best ball, advanced in the $555 tournament, but I heard it's good. It's a good thing to have all your star players out, right? That's good. That's what you want. You want all your good players just out. So the format of this is, I think it was like a 5 to 6 week stretch where there's eight other users in your pool, and the top 2 advance. I advanced. Now it's a format where there's five people, and the top 2 advance in 1 week. So like every single game matters. And sure enough, Minnesota game postponed. So I don't get minutes from Cat. No minutes from Anthony Edwards. Kyrie Irving also out in that game. LeBron still injured, and Kawhi out tomorrow. It's like, just put a knife in my stomach. Now I have literally no chance to advance, like zero. I need a miracle with like all my stars missing one game, and obviously LeBron's not coming back anytime soon. And who knows about Kawhi? Just I had to tilt about that a little bit. I had to show you guys that for the people that didn't check out the live stream. It's like really. All right, but that's all I got. So let's talk about this 6-game slate. Boston and Portland, a 227.5 over under. Portland's 1-point favorites, and Miami and Phoenix are 215 over under. The Suns 3.5-point favorites. This one should be a good game to watch. Maybe not so much for DFS. Let's start off with Atlanta and Toronto, a game that I do like for DFS. At the top, big news is Trae Young is currently questionable. This will change everything. If Trae Young is in, then I don't like the secondary plays as much for Atlanta. If Trae Young is out, we have Gallinari doubtful too. Still no Collins, still no Hunter, still no Reddish. So that makes Bogdan, Herter, Lou Williams, Brandon Goodwin 4 of the better plays of the slate. So yes, the price on Bogdan is up, but he's going to play massive minutes, and he should be the number one on offense. So still would like Bogdan there. Herter, I think, is a fine play. Should play over 30 minutes. And then Lou Williams off the bench probably pushes for 25 to 30 if there's no Trae Young. And then finally, the clear play, I think, if Brandon Goodwin, assuming he starts, he played 37 minutes the last game. If we get over 30 from him, I think he's a clear value. So it's Goodwin, it's Lou Williams, it's Herter, it's Bogdan. I think 4 of the better plays of the slate if there's no Trae Young. Now, with Clint Capella at 8.5, I don't love this price point, but with no John Collins, he gets a massive boost. He should play about 35 minutes. A guy that can definitely get you a double-double, can block some shots. I'm not really scared of the Boucher, Kem Birch, Aaron Baines trifecta at the center position, so I do like Capella even at that price point. And then there's no Tony Snell, so they are thin. It's like Solomon Hill was out there. He normally is just out there for cardio, though, right? Not a great point per minute guy, but I guess you could use him. And so that's kind of my thoughts if there's no Trae Young. Now, if Trae Young is in, then I'm probably not going to get to Goodwin. Then obviously downgrade Bogdan, downgrade Herter, downgrade Lou Williams. So again, this will change the entire slate. And then Trae Young himself, if there's no minutes limit, I actually think he would be a pretty good spend up. So big news with Trae Young, changes the entire slate. Moving on to Toronto. So we got to talk about this. All right, Kyle Lowry has been out for a couple weeks now with the foot injury. He's a veteran. Raptors aren't really playing much at this point in this season. And he plays 37 minutes. In the first half, he was on pace for 42 minutes. I just saw that and I was just like, this is so Toronto. Like, you cannot make this stuff up. But yeah, if he's just going to play his normal minutes close to 40 at 7.4 in this matchup, I think Lowry is a good play. I do. Would prefer him to Siakam. Don't think Siakam's out of play, but I like the discount on Lowry. OG a little bit too pricey. Boucher, you can use him for tournaments, but again, now they have Birch there too. Baines could play a few minutes. Gary Trent Jr. a little bit too pricey for guys scoring dependent, and guys like Flynn and Bembry are kind of out of play now with Lowry in. I'm moving on to the Clippers. Again, I got Kawhi Leonard. He's out for me for best ball, but I think Paul George is a really good play. I do. I'm not really scared of this Indiana Pacers team on the defensive end. Paul George is going to be the clear number one on offense. Should play mid-30s minutes. I really like Paul George once again. Now, big news is Rondo is in. So, like, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, not really as high on them. Because Rondo, again, will eat into their minutes. So Reggie probably starts and probably gets about 30 minutes. I think he's you can still go to him, but he's not like a smash play. And then Terrence Mann lost minutes off the bench, only played 22, so I'm probably not going to go there. Rondo himself might be my favorite point guard for the Clippers just because he's at almost min price, 19 and 21 minutes last couple games. If he's going to play about 20 minutes, he might be the guy I look to of the guards. Now, Luke Kennard should play mid-20s minutes, but he's super reliant on the scoring. I think he's in play, but he's got to hit his shots. The forwards, I think, look decent, the other forwards. So we got Marcus Morris at 5K. He had a nice shooting game. He played 36 minutes. I think we get about 30 minutes from him. Again, solid play. And then Batum off the bench, I think, is viable as well. And then Ivica Zubac at 5.2K. This is a bigger front court for the Indiana Pacers, and he finally played more minutes. He played 35 minutes that last game. Again, bigger front court for the Pacers. So if the plan is to play Zubac 35 minutes, then he is a really good play. Are we going to get 35 minutes again? I'm not convinced. So this is one that comes down to what are the minutes for Zubac. But if he gets close to 35, I think he's a really good play. So this Clippers team, I actually am pretty high on. They're thin. I like the spot here. Moving on to the Pacers. So no Miles Turner. Domantas Sabonis just gets a massive boost. I'm not super scared of Ivica Zubac on the defensive end. Sabonis, he's in foul trouble last game, so only played 30 minutes. If he didn't get in foul trouble, he probably goes for 60 plus easily. So I do like Domantas Sabonis once again. I think he's a really, really good spend up. And Brogdon mentioned him as a sneaky tournament play. He was super low owned and went for 62 fantasy points. Now, we're not going to get 62 fantasy points again, but there's no Beverly, so he might be matched up with like Reggie Jackson in the defensive end. Not a good defender. Should play, probably 35 minutes in a close game. I do like Brogdon for the price. I'm fine with LeVert 2 at 7.5. I think I prefer the discount on Brogdon to LeVert. But yeah, all three of the Pacer stars are viable. Value-wise, I'm probably not going to get to anyone with this team basically fully healthy besides Miles Turner. Lakers and Hornets. So we'll start off with Schroeder. I think he's the guy I like the best. He should play big minutes. I think he played 36, I want to say, tonight. A guy that, can stuff the stat sheets, can get some assists. I like the matchup for him again. So Schroeder, I think, is my favorite play on the Lakers. Drummond is one of those guys. He's just a super frustrating roster in DFS because there's games where he kind of just looks disinterested and just plays terrible. And there's also games where he completely takes over and is a phenomenal point per minute guy. So it's like, what Drummond are we going to get? The Drummond that we got tonight was just kind of the disinterested Drummond that didn't really look amazing. But I think if he plays well, he could get extended. So he's one of those guys where it's like not a cash game play at all, but like him for tournaments. Kyle Kuzma at 6.8, I also think is a pretty decent play. Again, with Drummond in the lineup, obviously he takes a usage hit, but I still think Kuzma is viable. I would prefer Schroeder though. And the centers, Gasol even cracked the rotation, so I'm not going to get to him or Harrell. THT a little bit pricey with Kuzma back. Markieff Morris seems priced about right. There's not a ton else that I'm super interested in the Lakers side. Moving on to the Charlotte Hornets. So as weird as it sounds, the two value guys for the Hornets are really where I'm looking to. So let's start with those two guys. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Brad Wanamaker at 3.8K. I know. Trust me, guys. I know. It makes you, I almost puked a little bit saying his name. But if he's going to continue to play 25 minutes, then he is too cheap. He's a guy who can stuff the stat sheet. It seems like he's basically close to splitting minutes with Devontae Graham. So I prefer Wanamaker to Graham. I think Wanamaker's a good value play. I also think Jalen McDaniels is a pretty good value play. Should get around 30 minutes. Has been pretty solid last couple of games. It's Wanamaker and McDaniels. I can't believe I'm saying that, but those are my two favorite plays in the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Biyombo's basically been out of the rotation. Cody Zeller, last couple of games, minutes have been trending down. But this is a bigger front court for the Lakers. With Drummond, they got Gasol that might get dusted off for a couple minutes. They got Harrell too. So it's like maybe Zeller plays a few extra minutes, or maybe he even starts against Andre Drummond, right? Can Charlotte really start PJ against Drummond? I don't know. So if they start Zeller, I actually think he's someone we could look to for value. If he comes with the bench, he's a little bit riskier. Miles Bridges at 5'8". He's been playing massive minutes. 36, 37, 41. I expect mid-30s minutes. I think he's a pretty good play at this price. Devontae Graham, not as excited because just the minutes right now. 32, I believe that game went to overtime. I could be wrong, but I think that game went to overtime. Maybe it didn't. But either way, his minutes are not massive. He at most played 32, other games 26, 27, 27. I know a couple of these, that game was blow up, but this game was close. So I think he's fine, but doesn't really stand out. And then Rozier at the top at 8.2, definitely in play for tournaments. He's a guy that probably has the most upside for this team, but he's also at a price where it's it doesn't make a ton of sense unless you're playing GPPs. All right, OKC in Utah. Ugh, I don't want to talk about this one. Okay, this Thunder team is just terrible. It's a terrible matchup. With the starters, I'm probably not going to get to anyone. If you think the game stays close, you can take a shot like Baisley or maybe a Lou Dort. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm honestly looking more towards the value. I think this game turns into a blowout. So the first guy that I think stands out is Tony Bradley. Continues to play 20 to 25 minutes. Give me Bradley over Moses Brown all day long. So I do like Bradley for value, and I think Ty Jerome is someone we could look to. If this game does blow out, he will play more. So, it's Jerome and it's Tony Bradley really where I'm looking for the OKC side. On the Utah side, keep an eye on Conley, keep an eye on Clarkson. It sounds like it was just rest for Conley for this game, but we don't know that for sure. If they're both out again, then, Mitchell, Ingles, Bojan, O'Neal, it's right back to those same guys. But it's even a greater chance this game does not stay close. So it's like the risk reward there. If the game does stay close, and you could see a big game from Mitchell, big game from Ingles, big game from Bojan, even O'Neal. Those are the 4 guys to look to if Conley and Clarkson are both out. If they're both in, I might stay away from this team because, again, like I said, I am worried this game does not stay competitive. Boston and Portland. So the top 3 guys for Boston, I think, are all in play because of the matchup. Tatum, Brown, Kemba, I think, are all pretty solid plays. Does one stand out more than the other? No, but I think all 3 look pretty decent. Scrolling down a bit more, Robert Williams is a guy that should play 25 to 27 minutes. He's a good point per minute guy. I think a fair play. Even you can look to Tristan Thompson off the bench that probably gets around 20. An okay value play. Portland is a bigger team with Nurkic and Cantor. So Thompson, Robert Williams should split the center minutes. So yeah, I think both guys look decent. On the Portland side, don't love the matchup. There's not a ton I really like here. Lillard, CJ in play as contrarian options. Again, Cantor, Nurkic going to split the center minutes. No one really stands out there. Covington and Powell will play big minutes, but they're kind of just, not great options on offense, right? They're lower usage guys. There's really not much here for Portland. And then finally, Miami, Phoenix. Again, this game should be fun to watch. Is it going to be great for DFS? I'm not so sure. So, again, Phoenix is really good defensively. I think Jimmy and Bam Adebayo are both solid plays. Neither priority plays. Jimmy has a pretty high floor, even though it's a bad matchup. Bam Adebayo, the price is, already at 8.4. So the top 2 guys for the Heat are in play. Tyler Hero's at 5.5. Probably gets around 30 minutes off the bench. Has been playing better recently. Dragic, I thought would play a little bit more, but they went to none that played actually a lot more than Dragic. So with no Victor Oladipo, not Ariza, Kendrick Nunn's really the guy I'm looking to. He played 32 minutes last game. If we're going to get about 30 minutes from Kendrick Nunn, I think he's a good value play in the slate. And that's probably it. Ariza, minutes been trending down to him. Duncan Robinson, too reliant on the scoring. Not much else. On the Phoenix side, again, this team is just a little bit more balanced. I don't like the matchup here. Booker, Paul, Ayton are all in play. Again, does one really stand out against the Miami Heat defense? Not really. And then Jay Crowder, revenge game narrative. I always mention him. I think he's a safe value even with a bad matchup because he's going to play about 30 minutes, can fill up a stat sheet. So Crowder, as weird as it sounds, might be my favorite play on the Phoenix Suns. But yeah, that is really it for the team-by-team breakdown, guys. And I think it's going to do it for the video as well. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos, you know live. Again, I will be doing a little bit of an earlier live stream tomorrow. So again, 5 to 5:30, and we'll be doing Patreon from 5:30 to 6 Central Time, that is. So that's all I got, guys. Good luck, and I'll see you all tomorrow in the live stream.